Hi guys, so I've missed the last few income reports. Obviously, if you've been following me, you know things have been a bit hectic and I wasn't uploading properly for a while. So I'm going to catch up now, essentially, and I'm going to do a total 2022 passive and side income report. So essentially what you'll get is just a table, a review of the income for the whole year, structured slightly differently than I have structured them previously. I think this way works better. I spent some time sort of thinking about how best to structure these going forward. And I think this is what I'm going to do. So let me know what you think. I think the only thing you're not getting on this breakdown is the breakdown of dividends. So I'm going to do that as a separate sort of regular monthly update. So I'm going to have just like a monthly table with all the companies down the side and show you that way. And I will include that on the regular updates as well, just not on this update now. Hopefully that makes sense. So I believe my last income update was in September, well, in October for August and September. So essentially you've not had October, November, December in terms of 2022. And then I'll do January and February together soon. So all in all, in comparison to the previous year, it's been an awful year when you look at it, you know, compared to the year before. But when you look at it in isolation, as the fact that this is just passive and side income, it's still amazing, and I'm still incredibly grateful. And I think this past year has been a testimony to how passive a lot of the income actually is, because obviously when I was uploading regularly, the income was much larger, but actually still when I was barely uploading or not uploading at all, I was still getting consistent income. So let's have a look and see where we are. So the way that I'm going to structure this is we're going to have a quick look at the full table for January to September, which is essentially all the updates you've had previously consolidated. And then we'll look at October, November, December. And then you can tell me what you think of the format, please, in the comments below. So you can see here, January till September, the totals you can definitely tell have been dropping, although September was 2,000, which actually wasn't too bad, but that was due to a sponsored video. But we started the year with 4,600, which was a really strong start. And then 3,400, 2,000, 3,000. And then around May, June is when things started like going downhill in terms of I wasn't really uploading. I wasn't focusing as much of my time on YouTube. So it was about 1,500, 1,600, 1,200, 1,200. And then September obviously went up to 2,000 with the sponsorship. So you can see the breakdown of all the categories here. So you can see the dividends very up and down, of course, with August being quite a big month, June being a big month. So September was the highest month, and that still remains even when I add the last 3 months. So if we have a look now, so October, November, December dividends were 10.94, 11.03 and 51.78. So September still remains the highest month with almost £70 in dividends, which was great. And then a few smaller months there. So all in all, for that year, it was £430.51 in dividends, which I think is awesome. Obviously, I've sold a lot of my investments now. If you follow my videos, I'm building a house, so I had to sell some investments in order to pay for that house. So we'll see how the dividends do this year, but I'm still planning to start investing again, any sort of spare income that I make going forward. So we'll see. Still a lot more compared to last year. So I'm just focused on making sure this grows every year rather than anything else. In terms of YouTube AdSense, the last 3 months sort of 152, 125 and 101. So you can tell slowly dropping off because there was just no content. So, you know, £100 a month is still, I mentioned in my previous video, I think that even if I was making £100 a month and nothing more from YouTube, I would be happy. So, you know, that's 500 zloty a month. That's not small change. So I'm still mega grateful. But yeah, this is pretty much mostly just completely passive because I wasn't doing much at all. Affiliates and sponsorships, we've got £366 in October, 915 in November, and only 85 in December. So December was a really, really, really low month. But I think that's partly because everyone's busy with Christmas and everything else. So again, not too bothered, but I wanted to show you guys this in terms of just how much this kind of income can fluctuate. You know, we've got months here, so like January, 3,900 just on affiliates and sponsorships, 2,700, 2,600 here, and then going all the way down to 85. So this is one of those important things where, like, if you are self-employed, if you are doing this as a main job, you can't base your assumptions for how much you're going to make based off of like the best months. And you should always have an emergency fund. Anyhow, Etsy, the only month I had something in those 3 months was October. So that was £1.70. Oh, sorry, I forgot the totals. So YouTube AdSense in total for 2022, it was 2,960, which again, less than the year before, but still pretty decent. Affiliates and sponsorships, 17,900 in total, which is just mind-boggling. And then Etsy, £44.43. Teaching English. So October, it was £174, November £207, and December £117. So all in all, for 2022, I made £1,751 from teaching English. So this is just part-time in the evenings, teaching English online, pretty much. So fairly decent amount there as well. Personal bank interest was £18.80 in total. So none in October, 1 pence in November, but £1.97 in December, because by then I started putting money in my Marcus account because my build started stalling. So rather than converting the money into my Polish account, and letting it just sit there with no interest, I was just sending it to my savings account. So that's why. And you'll see that go up again in January, February. Now, business bank interest, obviously much higher because there's much more in that account. So October, 23.92, November, 30.47, and December, £35.45. So this is because interest rates obviously have been going up. So £234.13 on interest in the business bank account. So matched betting. I've not done this for a long time, but I went back to it slightly in November. So I made £65.28 in November, which basically brings my whole year total to £169, which is still pretty good considering this is basically tax-free. So fairly good in my opinion. And then credit card points. So because I've not been spending as much money and I've been like mega frugal and pretty much spending all my money abroad because I'm building a house abroad. So I don't use my credit card when I'm abroad. But basically October was £7.30, November was £4.10, and then December was £25, but that's because someone used my link, so thank you to that person. All in all, made about £64.03 from the credit card. So in October, it was the first month of the year that was below £1,000, so £737 in total. In November, it was 1,358, so it jumped back up again over that 1,000 mark. And then December, as I said, really, really low month. It dropped down to £418. So on average, I made about 1,900 per month. So literally just the sum of these divided by 12. But yeah, you can see how much it's fluctuating. But in total for 2022, I made £23,500 as total side and passive income. So, I mean, I'm really happy with that. If I just made that whilst living in Poland, I could totally live off of that. So I'm really, really happy. I just need to stabilize those monthly payments a little bit more. I do want to do more teaching English, but at the moment I just don't have the capacity to. But that is something that I can increase to increase that number as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Didn't really delve into too much detail, but hopefully that's been useful. I know some of you really enjoy these, so let me know what you think, like I said, about the new format, because I was thinking now on a monthly basis, I will just fill this in and you'll have that comparison each month to previous months. And then, like I said, dividends I will include in that as well, broken down per sort of company as I used to. I just haven't here because there wasn't that much anyway, so it didn't feel like I need to do that. That's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.